For some time. Could India become the engine which drives the global economy? Certainly many big organisations have predicted that for a couple of years. It is the world's second most populous country, attracted the attention of companies and governments globally. They're keen to make the most of the potential. But will it just be potential? Well, in a few hours' time, we're going to find out exactly how the economy is doing at the moment, or at least at the end of last year. We'll get the first GDP reading since November's radical demonetization experiment. And they've got quite a high place to fall from, because this is the number that this is the growth they saw in July, August, September, 7.3%, which is pretty impressive. So economists expect they cannot replicate that. The figure will be lower. And that is because of that surprise move on November the 8th to replace about 86% of the banknotes in circulation. Now, you can imagine the impact in India. 9 out of every 10 transactions are made in cash there. It is a big, enormous reform, but one that could well pay off in the long term, according to the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development. It says reforms are historic and bearing fruit. So looking at their newly released report, they also pick out the comprehensive tax reform that's been pushed through by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I spoke to Samir Hashmi, he's in Mumbai for us, who explained what's at stake.
It's the first real data that will be coming out, and that will give some sense as to how did that experiment or exercise impact the Indian economy. Because these figures are for the months of October to December 2016, and the government put the ban in the first week of November. So clearly it's after that that the businesses took a hit, consumer spending was hit, demand had gone down. And that's why most economists have been struggling to really gauge as to how much has it really hurt the economy. So this data is going to be very, very important in that sense. It has been a very controversial move, one of the biggest economic reforms in the last 60, 70 years. But the minister defended the decision. He said that it was imperative because there's high level of corruption, and the whole intention was to bring down the amount of untaxed wealth in the economy. Black economy, or black wealth as it's called in India, is a huge component. It's also referred as the parallel economy. Many say that it's almost 70% of India's overall GDP. So the minister says that this will help clamp down on people who don't pay tax, which is a very small number really in India. Only 1% of the population pays tax. So what the minister is effectively saying, but now this exercise will help them chase those people, track down those people who don't pay tax, and put them, bring them under the law, and strict action can be taken against them. But Sally, I think the key question is that what happens in the long term, medium to long term. That is where the government is quite confident. Even this latest report that has come out talks about that some of the reforms which the government has taken are on the right track. And really the impact of this note ban is going to be short term. 6 to 8 months. But can India really bounce back after that? That's the big question, and we'll know the answer in the coming few months.